This week finds us above the snow line heading to Escalante, where we traverse cold rivers numerous times, find out that aliens are real, hike to natural bridges and cascading waterfalls, and discover a new creature half dog, half sheep. On this episode of Journey to Alaska, Escalante, Utah. We leave Kanab, Utah, and find another Oliver in the wild before entering the snow zone.
Taking a quick stop for a little lunch and to look around a little bit. We are here, and we're headed over here today.
We continue through Dixie National Forest and Bryce Canyon. We drive down twisty, windy roads until arriving at our turnoff. At a secret location within Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument, we meet up with our friends Cedar and Silver.
Are you waiting to say hello?
He's very excited to see Lilya and Mango. Unfortunately, we have to do some work before we can enjoy their company. So this is what a work day looks like for us. With work over, it's time for fun.
Go outside, check on Stormy. Not in his bed. Oh, hi. Are you enjoying the view?
We load up and follow Cedar and Silver down the road to Calf Creek for a hike. But let's back up for a minute. Do you notice anything interesting about the placement of the rooftop tent on the racks? After 2 years of use, the bolts had worked their way through the floor, but Treeline was quick to repair it and got them back camping. The pups led the way as we headed to Lower Calf Creek Falls. It's a beautiful hike that follows the creek. At the end, you're rewarded with quite the scene, and we had the entire place to ourselves. Humans took advantage of the photo ops, and the puppies began to play. With all the pups and people wrangled together, we got a terrific shot of an epic memory. After one last dip for Marley, we started our way back. On the way out, Kelly spotted some very interesting pictographs, and we were treated with nature's parfait before celebrating our own way.
Cheers.
Cheers. The next morning I made a run for Dirty Chai Lattes, so made it to Kiva Koffeehouse. You have quite the view from here. Then it was time to get back to work. Work with a view. At the end of the day, we took a stroll around the neighborhood.
What did we find? A heads-up penny.
Which must have brought us the luck to find these desert wildflowers in bloom, and our local version of the beehive.
There it is.
We celebrated good fortune and good friends with a pour of the Macedon quad I'd been carrying around for 5 months, while Stormy made the most of his Marley cuddles and play. Nature gave us another beautiful sunset and a very tired pooch. The next morning we were up before the sun to get a head start on a popular trail.
Quasi early morning to go do the Natural Bridges Trail in Grand Staircase-Escalante. It's just right down the street from where we're camping. Figured we'd get in an early hike. Our friends had already done this trail, so we're doing this one solo. And then hopefully it'll be a double header and we'll do another one this afternoon. Like a 1/10 of a mile in and we have our first river crossing.
Here comes Kelly.
Keeping the sandals on for now. We got 5 river crossings, so we read, so don't want to have to put shoes on and off, but man, it's about 41 degrees out. Toes are a little chilly. River crossing number 2.
Peter still hurt for number 1.
Yeah, feet still haven't warmed up from number 1. Stormy's got the best deal. River crossing number 3. Number 4 looks the deepest so far.
With frozen toes and boots in hand, we arrive at our destination.
Is that a pretty sight, Stormy? What are we looking at?
We made it to the Escalante Natural Bridge right behind us. There's a couple more spots you can see here, but we're meeting some friends for breakfast. So we've got to turn back because we're going to meet at 9:30 and it's already 8:30.
Those river crossings are taking a little bit more time than we had planned.
Yeah.
So, but still fun. It's still a beautiful morning hike.
Just if you do this hike, do it when it's like 70 degrees out so your toes don't go completely numb. On the hike out, the sun was to our faces, so thawed our frozen toes.
Last crossing.
The shoes you don't wear to do Escalante Natural Bridge. The ones you do wear.
We literally carried these the whole time.
We headed back up the hill where we met Cedar and Silver for breakfast at Kiva Koffeehouse.
Hike number 2.
8.3 miles.
8.3 out to Cosmic Ashtray. Our friends did it the other day and told us about it and highly recommended it. So we're gonna give it a go this afternoon while they go check out a different hike. One that's not dog friendly, so yeah.
And we'll see, this one may not be at the end.
Yeah,
we'll report back later.
Yeah. What may look like little musket balls are actually what we learned from our friends Lenny and Karen and Lilya.
Moqui Marbles.
Oh! These are called Moqui Marbles.
These are composed of iron oxide and sandstone that formed underground when iron minerals precipitated from flowing groundwater.
We'll have to find one that's split open. They're pretty cool.
Kind of see the inside.
Yeah. The layers.
We also found more blooming wildflowers along the trail.
Half shade, we'll find it.
Although the temperature was still relatively cool, the sun had heated the sand and it was just too much for Stormy, who eventually stopped and turned around. Earlier in the day, you may say we were heartily hiking.
Or in this case, for this hike, hardly hiking.
Near where we were camping, we spotted this specialty camper. The next day we chose to try Phipps Arch, which is much less exposed than Cosmic Ashtray.
Are you gonna try to do those yourself? Is that where we need to go?
We walked under overhangs and over obstacles.
And this one just has one river crossing. We didn't bother to bring the bedrocks. Do we have to take off your shoes and socks to cross the river?
The water crossings on the rest of the trail were shallow enough that we didn't need to take our shoes off. Along the Escalante River, we discovered more flora and fauna. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the Escalante River trail. As we went further in, we were rewarded with more incredible sights. But in the last mile, it became too steep for Stormy, so we turned back around. At the final crossing, Stormy decided to be playful. Back at camp, it was time to say goodbye to Lenny and Karen and Lilya and Marley and Mango until our paths cross again. They picked the right time to leave because later the skies opened up on us.
Find a good shade spot?
The next day, Stormy stayed cozy as we got ready to head out. We hitched up and headed down the road. See you next week where we discover new worlds and parallel dimensions.